Okay. All right. I've got my keys. Hopefully, I'll be able to get into your office. I have the Aaliyah plate, so I'm going to relinquish possession of it. Oh, okay. All right. One way or the other, then you can look for them. Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry you can't be here. Okay. Take care. All right. Thanks. Bye bye. Jen?
Sit anywhere?
Yeah. We don't have black ones this year for whatever reason.
Okay.
So sit wherever you're comfortable. I heard through the grapevine. Ooh, that's probably live. They're probably all live.
I did.
Is it the one you're hoping to get on?
It is.
That's
It
great.
is.
Okay,
Finally.
congratulations. All right.
Yeah.
So are you going to be able to continue on? Because you
Yeah.
said if you got that.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But yeah.
Next year we need to film all this more. It's bad. I mean, Jordan's getting pissed off at the school. Calendar's not up for next year. She's got to make plans.
I hear you.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Excuse me, Fred. You are technically the treasurer. Okay.
Technically.
Well, because I never know what Hal is. You know, you'll
Yeah.
flip flops, but you're treasurer.
And I'm giving the report.
Yeah, you're going to be first up, basically, because we already did the minutes. But I'll
Okay.
announce it. Sorry.
Would you like some water, Fred?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Seems to have like a
since
yellow
you're
tint to
one.
it. You have any fun summer plans?
I don't know, summer started, I guess.
It did. It did.
Um,
Unofficially.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I'm dreading work because I've got a lot on my schedule, but things seem to be slowly, like, getting pushed off. I got
Okay.
one,
In a good way, they're settling.
yes and no.
Okay.
One case I think is going to settle. Actually, I just found out it's probably going to get postponed.
Okay.
A full week in the middle of July. And then I got another case that's scheduled. Scheduled in the beginning of September. And we just dismissed that in favor of arbitration.
Okay.
I did. That we need.
I think so.
100? Joe.
How are you?
It's me.
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm sorry to hear about your husband's cousin.
Oh, thank you.
I talked to Sam today.
Yeah. It's terrible. Terrible,
So
terrible.
that same disease, you know, Jill Smokler.
I know.
She has the same
Oh,
exact
no,
thing.
no, no, it's different. Jill Smokler has a glioblastoma, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I'm not
I-
surprised Sam has no clue. He was like, it's the exact same thing. I'm like, oh my god, really?
No,
Like, that's
she had
crazy.
lung cancer metastasized.
Our paths never
But
cross.
I mean,
it
it's
was,
all awful,
but
but
it was
anyway.
the cancer in her brain that killed her. It metastasized to her brain, but it was not a glioblastoma.
So I shouldn't listen to Dr. Miller next time.
Oh, she's a
Shocker.
state attorney.
He was like, it's the exact same thing. You don't live from this stuff. It's brain tumors. You're
But
bad.
he might have.
Yeah,
So
right,
he
that's why I
knows
never
somebody
said
else who died.
He told me about her
from
too.
glioblastoma.
So that
Thank
was
you
right.
so much.
Okay, he
So
told me,
he
he's like, I
knows-
got two people, my cousin and the other one.
I
That's
can
what
see
he
her.
said.
It's-
Okay,
So
all right.
Buzz Foreman
It's
also
here for
died
life.
from glioblastoma,
Ay, ay, ay.
who was
Right, 100.
Ay,
around
ay,
our
ay.
age. It's
That's why you might want to
terrible,
start
terrible.
counting. I'm not seeing 100.
But yeah,
So
Joe
bad.
was-
Oh my God.
You know, it's like that magical time in life where like the kids are gone, and you're like, oh my God, we're so
Cancer,
young.
divorce,
we're
life,
gonna,
disease.
Yeah, it's terrible.
What do I do for this thing? Just like read it off or something? Like
Yeah.
my Memorial Park?
But dance while you do it.
Pretty much. Other than, like
I don't know.
Josh Powell.
No one told me anything. Like I literally, I walked in here with Hal.
Just trying to
like,
count. Look at
when do you do like a report? He's like, yeah.
There's 100 people. I was counting. I don't. You can't count any from that. Yeah, but I can't count. So. There's 100.
Bruce, we have 3 people online also.
Okay. Every little bit helps.
2, 4, 6. There's 6 people right here.
Okay.
My estimate is about 70.
I think you're closer than he is.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That's an estimate. Based on statistical sampling.
Yeah, you're right. It's about 85.
Okay. Yeah.
About
What are you, an accountant? Those numbers.
Actually, Bruce, I think we're very close.
it's
We're
close.
but
It's
we're
about
not
90.
there.
I actually think we might be. Let me do it again. One,
Okay.
two,
Well, Lori's coming, so there's one
5,
more.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
No.
I was gonna start it live until like the day I never stayed for the night.
That's actually really funny you said that. So there's 34 with the 6 of us and the people on that side of the room, 34.
Okay. And then you got the people in the back.
It's also Ray Freeman's birthday today. Do something special. Is it?
It's on Facebook. So he says he said this on something with it on Facebook. He's to get with it.
So I primarily.
I just counted 98 in here.
Somebody just walked in.
And there are people walking in.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be okay. Lori's. Yeah, we'll be okay.
I think we're fine.
But we may have to wait about 2 or 3 more minutes.
So I really didn't. I but sometimes I'll do it. So I have I got a month thought. But I think unless I heard something and I push back because I
We got Bonnie Raitt tickets tonight.
Do you like it? Where?
otherwise.
What time?
It'll be a little late.
I missed my speech.
Sometimes you're supposed to be really specific, right? Like
That's true.
read. So this is how
Signed in.
I open,
Right.
uploaded.
All right. I think I'm going to ask everybody to start taking their seats.
Do you understand that?
Particularly in light of.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here's my question. I want
And there's nothing to vote on for a little while.
executive. 5
Rabbi. Everybody, please start taking your seats if you would. It's about 25 of 7. We're aware of a couple other events that are going on around town tonight that some people are trying to get to. I'll be keeping my remarks down to about an hour because of that.
I'll be keeping my comments to an hour because people are going to hurry.
For these words, you're just going to call Barry up.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
You don't have to. Say his, I'd like to call.
That's what I intended to do.
There are 4 awards. He's giving 3. One of course is getting 1.
Okay.
Barry, you cared about this. I thought you really cared.
It's all good.
Change your name, friend. Where would change the mind?
I gotta get here. I'm gonna meet her there, yeah.
we have 13 on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to our 2024 annual meeting, and I want to thank you very much for being here. We need 100 members to be here for a quorum for this meeting, and we have counted multiple times, including the 13 people online. We have well over 100, so we're in good shape. The first order of business, as you may know if you have the agenda in front of you, is the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting, which means our April board meeting. We have taken care of that at a special board meeting that was held at about 6:10 this evening, and so we can dispense with that part of the agenda. So we'll go straight to the treasurer's report, and that will be given tonight by Fred Cobb, our treasurer.
What a coincidence. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. This will be relatively brief. I'm happy to report that in the past, in the fiscal year that's just concluding, Bethel had a balanced budget, meaning that our revenues were able to meet our expenses. At the beginning of the year, when we created the budget, we anticipated a need to access the endowment in order to balance the budget, but because of revenues that were exceeded the projection and possibly expenses that weren't as great as the projection, we were able to balance the budget without accessing the endowment. So those funds remain in place, earning interest, and keeping us financially strong as an organization. If you care to have any of the details, if you look on page 3 of the annual report, there's a couple of data points that show revenues and expenses. I won't elaborate on those. You can read them for yourself, but essentially you can see that revenues and expenses were the same, again, meaning that we had a balanced budget for the last fiscal year. We anticipate, with any luck, a similar outcome for this coming fiscal year. I'll ask Hal, did we project a slight need to dip into the endowment to balance this coming year?
Yes.
So that was true of last year as well, but hopefully with Amanda's strong efforts in the annual appeal and everyone's generous donations throughout the year, hopefully that will not be necessary for this year. So I want to thank everybody who contributed to the annual appeal and made donations along the way. Again, you're critical in maintaining the financial health of Bethel. Also want to thank specifically the members of the Budget and Finance Committee who worked tirelessly throughout the year to make sure that our finances are in order, make certain financial decisions that are crucial to the health of Bethel, and appreciate their guidance. And of course, I want a special shout out to Hal, who technically is our controller, but really is our CEO, or CFO, I should say, who really keeps things moving on a financial basis, has his fingers on every financial issue that comes up, and we really couldn't do what we do financially if it weren't for Hal. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the meeting.
Thank you, Fred. Fred, of course, just stole some of my remarks, but that's okay, Fred. I don't remember that. And next on the agenda is the Memorial Park report, and that'll be given by our second vice president, Josh Shine, who by our bylaws is the chair of the Memorial Park.
Thank you, Bruce. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight and being online. The Memorial Park, if you haven't been, I just would encourage you to go and visit. It's a beautifully maintained park, and it's just a beautiful place overall. I've spent more time there in this role, and it's really been really enjoyable to spend time there. It's a meaningful, really special place. So I would encourage you to go see the work that goes into it, which is a lot of hard work from a number of people that put time and effort into paying attention to the little details that really do make a difference in that kind of a space. Financially, the Memorial Park continues to perform strongly, I guess I would say. Lots continue to be sold. We had 28 lots to members, 33 lots sold to non-members. We have perpetual care income that comes in as well. And at the end of the year, we do have a profitable, essentially paying all of our bills properly and don't have to tap into any other reserves at all. It's very well maintained. We did some repair work this last year as well on some of the broken areas of sort of the walkways and sidewalks, et cetera. And there's really a beautiful oversight that takes place in making sure the rules are followed, and to what I said a few minutes ago, that it's always really beautifully maintained. And so everyone does a great job with it, and the financials are run very well and successfully and tightly run. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Josh. Barry Smith. There he is. Barry is, as you, I'm sure know, is the head of our Hebrew school, and Barry asked us if he could have a few minutes tonight to present some faculty awards. So, faculty awards.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here, and it was a pleasure being as your interim director this year. We had a wonderful year, great support, and I wish the best of luck to Rabbi Cantor, Emily Ellentuck, and it's a great move forward. So tonight I not only have faculty awards, but also student awards, and I'd like to spend just a little time because I think it's really important that the faculty and the students that won these. So the Joseph Lipovsky Academic Achievement Award, the candidate for this award is a student of the Bethel Berman Lipovsky Religious School, who over the years as a student consistently demonstrated a desire to learn about the experience Judaism, demonstrates leadership in the classroom, and makes a sincere effort to undertake an in-depth study of Jewish history, culture, and the Hebrew language. This year's recipient is Levi Pepe. Tell you a little bit about Levi. Levi has continuously demonstrated a desire to learn about and experience Judaism. He is a regular part of the classroom dialogue, shares stories about his travels to Israel, attends regularly, and his overall pleasure in class. At the Bar Mitzvah meeting, Levi was an active participant who reclaimed his excitement about continuing his Jewish education after his Bar Mitzvah and a desire to learn and recite Aliyah. He is a model student, a leader, and most importantly, an avid learner. So, thank you. A little bit of history. His mother was growing up as my next door neighbor, so it's a strange world, interesting world we have. Second award is the Morton Offit Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement for continued participation in Jewish education. A teen candidate for this award is a current or former member of the Bethel Berman Lipovsky Religious School who actively engages as a teenager in the study of Judaism. Leah Geller is our recipient. Leah is an exceptional member of the Bethel Religious School Madrikim program. I personally have observed her as a teacher, and she is a born teacher and Jewish educator. As a junior at Beth Tefillah, this 17-year-old balances extracurricular activities of softball, soccer, mock trial, as well as her weekly commitment to Bethel. As a teacher assistant with Kitat Bet, she brings to bear the commitment of each of these disciplines. Leah says the reason she is so dedicated is because it's important to help her students grow up Jewish with a strong Jewish education. When kids who I've helped start being able to help other kids, especially in Hebrew, it's b'shert and makes me proud. So thank you, Leah. The next one.
Must have been your influence.
Is that fair?
Another wonderful attribute. The Joan and Morton Balin Award for Excellence in Teaching. The candidate for this award will meet the following criteria. He or she shall demonstrate a love for Jewish learning, an understanding of the needs of the students and their families, and the ability to recognize and implement changes required for the classroom and/or religious school. In addition, the candidate must be able to communicate with the students and their families in a manner that strengthens their students and their families' connection to religious school and the Bethel community. The most important attribute of this candidate is that he or she possesses the creativity and energy to sustain a thriving Jewish learning environment. The recipient this year is Ben Gittleson. Woo! Ben is a Pied Piper of Bethel Berman Lipovsky Religious School. His students find him so engaging that they request that he follow them by becoming their teacher the following year. You can only go so far, Ben, this year. Ben has taught our Kita Hey, 5th grade, and is currently the Kita Vav, teaching Kita Vav. For Kita Hey, Ben created a curriculum focusing on immigration to America and the early history of the Jewish communities. This year, he teaches the Big Ten, a unique curriculum dedicated to the commandments. With Ben is not only what he teaches, but his delivery to the knowledge that energizes the students and creates a classroom environment of learning the subject and joy for Judaism. So thank you, Ben. And our next award is given for the Daniel Grayson Award for Excellence in Teaching, and Joan Capcone is giving, Joan, there you are.
Thank you, Barry. I very much appreciate you letting me be here today to share information about this award and also my dad. So my dad, Daniel Grayson, was a member of really what they call the America's Greatest Generation. And he served his country, and after he served his country, he took advantage of the GI Bill. And that's what enabled him to go to college and also to get his master's degree in education. He loved education, and he started his career in the New York City school system, which he went through the ranks, started as a high school teacher in history, became an assistant principal, and then became a principal, which is what he truly loved to do. But my dad also loved the Jewish people, and he was always a religious school principal as well, after he served his duties as a principal during the day. So I'm really thrilled to be here to represent my dad. I know he'd be so thrilled about this award. And I've been asked to share a little bit about what the award is. And it recognizes teachers with long-term commitment to Jewish learning at the Berman Lipovsky Jewish Religious School. In addition, the candidate will meet the following criteria. They shall demonstrate a love for Jewish learning, which my father certainly did, and an understanding of the needs of students and their families, and the ability to recognize and implement changes for students and in the classroom. In addition, the candidate communicates with students and their families in a manner that strengthens the students and their families' connection to the religious school and the Bethel community. The most important attribute of this candidate is that they possess the creativity and energy to sustain a thriving, learning Jewish environment. So this year's recipient is Andy Shankman. So I haven't even met Andy, but reading his bio, I know that I love him, and I know my dad would too. Andy has been an integral part of the religious school for 12 years. He has served as a teacher, the religious school operations manager, and the B'nai Mitzvah and Madrichim coordinator, and most recently was promoted to assistant director. His primary goal in all of his roles is for our students to experience Judaism with joy and excitement, which enhances their attachment to Judaism. He always assures the operation of the school is focused on enhancing the Jewish experience of students. He also understands the roles of the educator, and that their role is to enhance teachers' ability in the classroom with supplies and teaching materials that will enhance learning. As an important part of a child's Jewish education is that the student is also aware of what's happening in the classroom, but that their parents are also connected as well. And as a Jewish educator at Bethel, Andy has taught various grades, including the initial development of the Lapid program. This year, he took on the responsibility of revitalizing the Hebrew program by examining Hebrew textbooks, managing Hebrew assessment program, and reestablishing our weekday Hebrew program. Andy's dedication to reinstituting the midweek Hebrews program will ensure that the students are proficient in their knowledge of Hebrew and the love of Hebrew language. Andy, it's hard to see what you don't do, because clearly you have done everything at this school. So I'm delighted that you're winning my dad's award, and most importantly, he would be thrilled that someone like you represents this award. Thank you.
Would all 4 recipients please go see Sammy, the woman standing with her hand up right there, so we can get a picture of you. Thank you.
So thank you, Barry. Thank you, Joan. And congratulations, Mazel Tov, to all of our award recipients. The next report is that of the nominating committee. Per our bylaws, the chair of that committee is our immediate past president, who, as you know, is David Harrison. So, David, come on up, please, and give us your report.
Thank you, Bruce. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. As Bruce mentioned, it's my role as past president to chair the nominating committee, and we have been hard at work since January. We've taken this job really, really seriously. I want to thank my fellow members of the committee, Joel Alperstein, Sarah Lynn Elkin, Jeanette Davis, and Jill Suffel. As I mentioned, we've been working really hard. We've asked for nominations of people to serve on our board to replace those people who are going off the board. We had input from the entire congregation, from the board of directors, from the clergy, and we've picked what I think is a very special group of people to join our board. I also want to share that we have 2 jobs as a committee, and we're working very hard on the development and the updating of the board books, the board orientation process, and a description a description of the role of serving on our board and what it means, what the expectations are, and the jobs that you have. And we look forward to the leadership of these new people who are joining our board. So I'm going to read the names. This is not the installation. I think someone who's above me on the pay scale will handle the official installation. But I want to thank, and I want to thank for agreeing to serve on our board, Amanda Brown, Mike Kaplan, Alan Davis, Ken Fuller, Rebecca Giller, Marcy Kaplan, Eileen Rome, Jason Steinhardt, and Cheryl Title. That's our new class of board members. So thank you to the committee, and appreciate everyone's hard work.
Thank you, David. This next item is not on the agenda. It was just an oversight, but we are going to have our annual memoriam, so to speak, for members who have passed away this past year, so I'm going to call on Rabbi Schwartz for that.
Thank you, Bruce. And if I could ask my colleagues, Karen King, Rabbi Soroka, and Rabbi Zaslow, to please join me, and if I could ask you all to please rise. And the annual meeting year-to-year sense of the passage of time, and we remember today, part of our duty, to remember our members who have gone from this world to the next in the year gone by. In that remembering, reflecting on the lives that they lived, on the gifts that they brought to each of us, and on the connection that they had with our congregation and with all of us. We are grateful that our paths crossed theirs, that for a time we were able to walk together in this journey that we call life. And we know that their affiliation with our congregation, with Beth-El, was a meaningful expression of their connection to our faith and our God. Zecher Tzadik Libracha, may their righteous memories always be for a blessing. And this year, remembering Evelyn Barish, Saul Bernstein, Edith Blufeld, Dr. Herman Blumenfeld, Alvin Book, Rosalie Book, Jerry Brickman, Jamie Weinstein-Cohn, Betty Dane, Jacob Devine, Caleb Dressen, Natalie Feinblum, Stanley Ginsberg, Norman Glick, Dr. Marshall Goldman, Sheldon Goldseeker, Susan Grilly, Sandy Guthorn, Dr. Gerald Hofkin, Robert Jacobs, Herbert Janney, Jimmy Katz, Marty Katz, Phyllis Klein, Hugo Kuntz, Gilda Lessons, Molly Levin, Audrey Lifkovich, Sandy LeRae, Daniel Marcus, James Marmer, Bill Oberfelder, Shirley Offit, Eileen Paramel, Arlene Perloff, Dr. Vera Pinter, Isabel Rappaport, Gilda Resnick, Sanford Larry Rosenblum, Dr. Ivan Rosengarten, Leah Rosen, Robert Rossoff, Paula Scher, Sylvia Schneider, Doris Schwartz, Irv Schwartz, Albert Shapiro, Sanford Sandy Shapiro, Sandra Sandy Silberman, Dr. Charles Chick Silberstein, Linda Smaney, Jocelyn Steelman, Herbert Swerin, Gary Tallis, Paul Weil, Susan Weintraub, Harvey Weissman, Hulain Zolet, and Jerry Zuskin. Again, Zecher Tzadik Libracha. May their memories always bring blessing into our lives. And if you'll please remain standing for the El Malei Rachamim, the memorial prayer, and then the Kaddish.
Malei Rachamim, Shochen Bamromim, Hametzeh Menucha Nechona, Takat Kanfei Hashkinah, B'malot Kedoshim Udaharim, Kezar Harakia Mazhirim, Et Nishmat Kol Eile שהזכרנו היום לברכה. אנא בעל הרחמים, הסתירם בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם, וינוחו על משכנותם בשלום.
May God remember the souls of our congregants who have gone to their eternal rest. In tribute to their memory, we pledge to perform acts of charity and goodness. May the deeds we perform and the prayers we offer help to keep their souls bound up in the bond of life as an enduring source of blessing. And to that we say, Amen.
We join together in the recitation of the mourners' Kaddish, in their memories and their honors, and to pay tribute to them. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei zechol beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv yimeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rab Amavarach Leolam Ulmeo Maya Yitzbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Da'miran B'alma V'yimeru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Alinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Alinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru Amen. May all of their memories always be a blessing to all of us, to our community, and may those memories inspire us as we move forward.
Amen. May be seated.
The next order of business is the vote on our bylaws amendment. I believe there was a blurb that was sent out with respect to the amendment in conjunction with the notice for this meeting. The amendment is designed to permit an affiliate whose president is not of the Jewish faith to have a vote at the board meetings by having the affiliate nominate one of its board members to attend the board meetings and vote on behalf of the affiliate. Presently, that would not be something that could happen. This was discussed for a good bit of time at the board level. Ultimately, the vote was 33 in favor. There were no votes, and there were 6 abstentions. So I'm going to assume that everybody read the amendment when notice was sent. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the amendment to the bylaws at this time.
So moved.
Second? Second, thank you. Any discussion? I don't think it needs to say that because our bylaws state that board members, correct me if I'm wrong, have to be of the Jewish faith. That person is stepping into the shoes, right, and is going to cast a vote, cannot cast a vote if he or she or they are not of the Jewish faith, as our bylaws currently read. We can always take that up at a later time if in fact, the board feels as though that's something that needs to be done, but thank you for pointing that out. Any other discussion? All right. Call the question. All in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. Any abstentions? All right, looks like it's passed unanimously. Thank you very much. And at this time, I will call on Rabbi Schwartz to discharge the board members whose terms have expired.
As I call your names, if you are present, will you please rise? These are outgoing board members completing their terms of service. Rachel Cohen, David Daffner, Danielle Epstein, Richard Grilly, Jerry Janofsky, Helene Lutz, Marissa Myers, Eileen Schwartz, Bruce Sapovitz, and Michael Fellerman. During your service on Bethel's board, you have contributed to the life, strength, and health of our congregation. Your talents and efforts have enhanced our community, and our hope is that your service to our community has not ended. We also hope that your service to Bethel has brought you closer to our faith. We thank you for your efforts, look forward to your continued involvement and connection to Bethel congregation for many years to come. You are formally discharged from your duties on Bethel's Board of Directors. Thank you for your service. I think this new slate need to be voted on. How does that work? We don't need to do the officers. Right. Yeah, the officers are not changing. Okay. So the question is, do we need a vote on the new slate?
Yes.
Yeah, so we need a vote on, you have to call for that, Bruce. I can't call for that.
All right, the Board of Trustees has approved the new slate of board members whose names were mentioned by David just a few moments ago. And so I will at this time ask for a motion to approve the new slate of board members. Second? Second, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Any abstentions? Passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
I'm to do it right now. Now, as I call your names, incoming board members, will you please rise? Amanda Brown, Mike Kaplan, Alan Davis, Ken Fuller, Rebecca Giller, Marcy Kaplan, Eileen Rome, Jason Steinhardt, Cheryl Teitel. It is an honor for me to formally welcome you to the Board of Directors of Bethel Congregation. You come on the board in the 76th year of the congregation's history, and also during a pivotal time for Bethel and for Jewish community. As you give of your time, your effort, your energy in the months ahead, we hope and pray that at the very same time you will receive a sense of satisfaction, a feeling of deeper meaning, and a stronger connection to your family, to your synagogue, to your community, to your faith, and to the God of Israel. You are hereby formally installed. Thank you.
Jason Steinhardt was sorry that he couldn't be here tonight, but he's receiving an award from the, I believe it's the Anne Arundel County Bar Association. If I have that wrong, Jason, I apologize. But it was a tremendous award, and that's why he's not here at this time. Right. Some of you may know this story, but here goes anyway. Milt and Abe, best friends, loved baseball. They played Little League together, shared season tickets as they got older, and watched on TV together in their more senior years. One day they made a pact. Whomever dies first will somehow let the survivor know whether there's baseball in the world to come. Several years go by, and Milt's the first to die. One day, soon thereafter, Abe hears a voice. "Abe, it's Milt. You know our agreement about baseball." "Yeah," says Abe, "so tell me." "Well," says Milt, "I've got some good news and I've got some bad news." He says, "Well, what's the good news?" "The good news," says Milt, "is that there is baseball here. "What's the bad news?" exclaims Abe. "The bad news," replies Milt, "is you're pitching Tuesday." Esteemed clergy, Bethel officers, board members, fellow congregants, and staff, I chose to share this old joke with you because I come before you today bearing both good and bad news. Unlike Milt, however, I'm going to focus on the bad news first. The bad news is not exactly breaking news. In fact, you all know it as well or better than I. Unless you were alive during the Holocaust, personal tragedies aside, you are now likely experiencing the most unsettling, if not terrifying, time of your life. We are facing a precarious future, one filled with uncertainty and trepidation about the existential threat to the viability and sustainability of our homeland, and one filled with consternation and incredulity at the level of and pervasiveness of anti-Semitism that presently surrounds us locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally, from the right and from the left. I don't have any words of wisdom, but I am clear that our response to the above must be unified if we have any chance of surviving this onslaught. It's no coincidence, in my opinion, that Hamas's heinous attack against civilians without notice came at a time when Israelis were so divided. As such a small minority, we cannot afford the division which currently plagues us and, frankly, weakens us. 176 years ago, almost to the day, President Abraham Lincoln admonished our country that, quote, "a house divided against itself cannot stand," end quote. In Israel and in the diaspora, we cannot afford division. If Israel falls, our lives and those of our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren will not be as comfortable as the lives to which we are accustomed. I am heartened that Bethel has been a source of comfort, resources, and support from the moment that the horrors of October 7th were revealed. I'm also quite proud that Bethel organized and underwrote a mission to Israel, where a group of our congregants, led by Rabbi Schwartz, Rabbi Sorokin, and Amanda Beitman, met with leaders, served as witnesses, and provided assistance to those in need, including, but not limited to, food preparation for IDF soldiers and gathering produce from Israel's fertile fields. By the way, if you're wondering about the quality of Bethel's lay leadership going forward, you should know that your first vice president and your second vice president were among those courageous congregants who made the trip. On a related note, I would like to give a shout out to our member, Dr. Larry Weiss, who traveled to Israel to treat sick and injured Israelis in conjunction with Israel's National Emergency Medical Services System, Magen David Adom. For those of you who may not be aware, MDA is a non-governmental, volunteer-based organization entrusted with protecting lives by operating a world-class emergency medical response infrastructure that uses technology to assure emergency care for all Israelis, regardless of religion, ethnicity, or race. If any of those who participated in the mission or Dr. Weiss is present, please stand up at this time and be recognized. That's you. Ironically, and here's the good news, Bethel is arguably stronger, safer, and more fiscally sound than ever before in our 76-year history. I say this because our membership currently sits at 1,400 units, and though not a record, it is important to understand that as of just recently, we no longer include honorary members in our membership total. Our affiliates, Sisterhood, Men's Club, and Seniors continue to provide friendship and learning opportunities for their members and vital funds for our congregation. At its recent annual meeting, the sisterhood presented a check to Bethel for just shy of $85,000. The Men's Club, whose numbers continue to grow, were able to make a donation to our general fund this year, and the seniors, as is their custom, raised money for the maintenance of our most precious possessions, our Sefer Torahs. I cannot mention the Men's Club without a shout out to Jack Boonshaft. Though Jack just stepped down as the Men's Club president, it is he who, during his 10 years of service, revived the Men's Club from a pile of ashes, not unlike God's resuscitation of the dry bones as described by Ezekiel. Thank you, Jack. Another shout out to the sisterhood for the beautiful, spiritual, and meaningful Shabbat service that it recently led. If you missed it, I highly recommend that you circle it on your calendars once next year's date is announced. The Lapita Center for Healing and Spirituality at Bethel Congregation, aka the Soul Center, has flourished this past year under the spiritual guidance of Rabbi Sorokin. Together with her dream team, hundreds of programs have been held, from morning gratitude to caregiver cafe, to meditation sits, to sheer joy, to Zen tangle, and to wit, wine, and wisdom, to name a few. Not only has attendance at these programs increased substantially, but funds raised have as well. Kol hakavod. Our committee work is time-consuming but rewarding. The Social Action Committee works tirelessly throughout the year to assist those within our community and without who are in need of a helping hand, not the least of which are those suffering from physical and mental abuse. The Israeli Affairs Committee is quite active with its addition of new committee members and has, among other things, held a film series as part of its mission to support the Jewish homeland through advocacy, culture, and education. Continuing with the resurrection theme for a moment, the Security and House Committees have been reformed after a hiatus. The Security Committee is busy reviewing all aspects of our security measures, and I anticipate that it will prepare a comprehensive report this coming year. We are not sitting back awaiting the report, however, and have recently fortified all of our ground-level glass, both doors and windows, and are well into the completion of updating our communication abilities within our building with respect to those seeking entry into the building, and are replacing any and all surveillance cameras from analog to digital. In addition, we have recently applied for 2 federal grants totaling $300,000 to further fortify our campus. I assure you that we will remain vigilant in this regard and will not rest until we are most confident that we can provide a safe and secure facility for our entire membership and its guests. The House Committee is very involved in multiple projects to enhance the beauty and functionality of our building, and I hope to report to you shortly with some exciting details. Perhaps our most well-known and robust committee is our Adult Education Committee. Thank you, Dr. Bohr, Ellen Marks, and our committed co-chairs and committee members. Through their hard work, we were able to present a very diverse array of classes, concerts, events, and programs to include First Wednesdays and last year's innovation, My Story, the recent version of which provided a fascinating insight into the most interesting career of our marketing and communications director, Jeremy Silbert. Dr. Bohr also wanted to mention that there was a new film series this year that was held at the Charles Theater and moderated by Drs. Hannah Bohr and Dr. A.L. Bohr. Last year, I stood here and advised you of my intention to create 3 task forces to develop strategies to increase our Shabbat morning service attendance, to provide even more attention and comfort to our members who are lonely and or alone for whatever reason, and to assess community interest in and our ability to stream our religious services to independent living, assisted living, and skilled nursing facilities. The Shabbat Task Force has implemented monthly birthday aliyot and is putting the finishing touches on themed Shabbats and opportunities for members to spend some special time with the clergy at small L'chaim get-togethers in the clergy's studies at the conclusion of services. The task force that I have dubbed the Isolation Task Force is continuing its work, and the Technology Task Force has just successfully implemented the streaming of our Friday night service to our initial facility, Sunrise, At that service, attended by task force members Sonia Goodman and Steve Katz, there was a minion and tremendous interest in our service. To get to this point, the task force focused on our audio and video capabilities in the building and with respect to streaming to our members, as evidenced by the crystal clear feed that was made available to our members during our recent Sheer Joy service. We are very close to meeting our objective. Thank you, task force chairs and members, especially Michael Ray, for your time, expertise, and efforts, and I'll certainly include in that Josh Powell and Andy Shankman. We have progressed to this point with a modest expenditure of funds, and I am champing at the bit to share our superior services with even more folks who are not able to join us in person. Financially, we are as strong as I can recall. Not only have we funded everything that I have mentioned above, but we have been able to offer salary increases to our wonderful staff and clergy, and pad our rainy day fund, a fund crucial to our continued financial health. This is not an easy task, and many thanks are due the chair of our Budget and Finance Committee, Hal Hackerman, its members, and Randy Arntz, our Director of Finance, who has capably and admirably served Bethel for 32 years. Although Randy will continue serving us on a part-time basis, he is turning over the reins to his protege, Josh Powell, who has been with us now for over 9 years. Please join me in a well-deserved show of thanks for Randy's remarkable and exceptional contribution to Bethel. One cannot mention our congregation's finances without trumpeting our successful annual appeal this year. To date, we have raised over $725,000, and we are so grateful to Amanda Beitman and Rebecca Waltmeyer McDonald for a job well done. Not to mention the chairs Arnold Fruman and Randy Melnick. I understand it's Arnold's birthday today. Happy birthday, Arnold. 49 years old. And volunteers who spend so much time and effort in this endeavor. The truth is, however, none of this could have happened without the continued support and generosity of our membership. On behalf of the officers and Board of Trustees, Toda Rabah. In addition to contributions to the annual campaign, our members make other significant contributions and gifts to us throughout the year. One of those gifts enabled us to retain a talented artist/woodworker, Mark Plakatouris, who built and installed our new shulchan in the Berman Rubin Sanctuary. Join us for a Shabbat service in the near future so that you may marvel at the craftsmanship and utility of this beautiful new addition. Thank you, Sheila and Donald Leese. In closing, thank you to Barry Smith and Andy Shankman, who stepped up in a big way to fill a void in our religious school leadership. It won't be long before we will be officially welcoming our incoming religious school principal, Emily Allentuck, into our community. We have no greater responsibility than to care for and educate our youth. And our infant, toddler, and preschool programs take a back seat to no others. Mandy, Samantha et al., thank you. Thanks also to Rabbis Schwartz, Sorokin, and Zaslow, and Cantors King and Blatt for your guidance, leadership, and artistry. I would be remiss if I didn't single out Cantor King, who has blown me away with the strength that he has exhibited this past year under trying circumstances. May God bless you. And watch over you in good health for many, many years to come. Thank you to Ritual Director Ben Kreshtul, who couldn't be with us tonight because he's at a Shiva minyan. Ben just marked his 10th year with us. Thank you to our incredible staff assembled and led by Ben Wachstein, including Yvonne Epstein, who has served us for 50+ years. Thank you to a great slate of officers and Board of Trustees, and thank you to our loving and warm congregants. And finally, thank you to Jill, Lindsay, Teresa, and our maintenance staff for ensuring that this event went off without a hitch, and for everything else that you do for us on a year-round basis. Thanks to all of you, the state of our congregation is strong. I would like to conclude with a look to the future, but at present my magic 8-ball has never been so cloudy. While I am confident where we stand within our four walls, particularly since virtually all of our leadership are under contract for multiple years, the weather outside is mostly overcast with a chance of strong storms. The one thing we can do is hope, something our people have somehow managed to do even in times far grimmer than those we are currently experiencing. In Bruce Springsteen's song, "Does This Bus Stop at 82nd Street?", recorded over 50 years ago on his first studio album, Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, Springsteen penned, quote, "The Daily News asks her for the dope. She says, man, the dope's that there's still hope." So let's heed his words in the coming year. Let's honor those who came before us, and let's hope for safety and peace for all mankind, and let us do so together. Thank you for continuing to have faith in me and for allowing me the privilege of serving as the president of this extraordinary congregation. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Everybody wants to stay for more?
Should we sing happy birthday to Arnold? Should we sing happy birthday to Arnold?
I got a motion to adjourn, second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. Any abstentions? Thank you very much again for being here tonight. Really appreciate it.
Folks, just one quick thing. On all the chairs, you'll see the annual report that both Amanda and Rebecca worked on for a long time. So feel free to take that with you so that you can read through it. And also, you should see this sheet on your chairs. If you take a picture of the QR code, it'll take you to Google. And if you are so willing to leave a review about your feelings about Bethel, I would say positive if that's how you feel. That would be terrific. It's great. It allows for other people to find us much more easily and really says something positive about our community. So thank you.
Rabbi, if you leave now, you might make it. If you leave right now, you might make it.
Where you going? Enjoy.
Where you going? Have fun.
Bruce. Hey Arnold, I wanted them to sing happy birthday to you. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. Bruce wouldn't do it.
He already gave me the stink face when I announced the birthday.
That's why you do it. Josh, great report. I know you work study with the police.
My pleasure.
Bruce.
So, thank you.